Hello, my Lego friends. I am back. I am Callie, for the ones that you don't know. This is going to be continuing our playground set. And we've already made the base. We've already made the platforms. And now we're going to make the slides. Because we made the base, we are now going to add the slides off the base of your playground, if that makes any sense. In this bag, I have a ton of Legos. And in this bag, you may or may not have the Legos. So, again, you can improvise. You're going to use whatever Legos you have to build a slide. Maybe you already have a slide made. Maybe you have a slide that is already put together from another build that's an actual slide. It does not matter what you have as far as the slide. What does matter is that it goes from the top to the bottom. Now, there are all kinds of different slides. There is a single slide. There are double slides. There are fat slides. There are skinny slides. There are bumpy slides. There are straight slides. The slides that you have, doesn't matter. How you make them doesn't matter. And I will show you what I have. I have this piece. That could be a slide, right? You can make it from your low point. You can make it from your high point. It doesn't matter. A slide is literally anything you can put together to make a slope, right? I've used very basic, easy slide. I've used these, and I've used 3 of them stacked on top of each other. Now, of course, you can use 4. You could use 5. But remember that since you're using these as your slides, you're not going to want to put a lot of weight on here and here. You are only using it for your little figures to slide down, not to push down. This is fun, but, oh, there goes his head. Oh, my favorite guy, too. You're so sweet. All right, so keep that in mind. If you're going to use this slide, you want to only slide them down, right? That's all you're doing. You're not pushing nothing. It's purely for fun. Now, the slower you go, the more he stays in the middle, right? If you go really fast, your Lego friend could very well go off whatever side you have him going down. So keep that in mind. So this is one slide, right? That's a pretty easy slide. I have another slide here. This is a pretty fun slide too. It's a little thicker, like a little wider. Now, what I've done with this is pretty easy. I have literally taken 2 of the ramps, these ramps, I don't know if you have ramps like this, but 2 of the very identical ramps. See how they look? These ramps are amazing because they can go right on top of each other. See how they lay on top of each other? But the only problem with this is you have to be able to put them together. So you have to build up your section here. You have to build it up, and I just kind of made an L with it to build it up and to make them stick. Now, of course, you can do 3, 4, 5, whatever you want to do to build it up. But mine looks like that. Now you can do 2, you can do 3, you can do 4, heck, you could even do 12 if you have 12. I don't have that many of them. I have a total of 3. No, 4. I have 4 of them. So here's another one. Here's another one. Now I did add this piece here only because it has to connect to the top of the slide unless you put a bumper piece at the very bottom, which I've done that too. I've added a bumper piece. And if you do 3, 3 is going to look like that, right? So it depends. Is the slide going to go at the very bottom of your base, or do you want a slide to go off the top of your base? So I've got two of them. I got the yellow one, which is the lower one, and I got the blue one, which is the upper one, right? So for me, I don't want to build a giant slide. I think I want to go off of my lower one to build the slide, and then I want to do a zip line off my top one. I think that's what I'm going to decide. So with that said, I'm going to put this slide off of my yellow. Off of my yellow, so right here. Now, remember, it can just sit there and that's fine, but it's not gonna be held in place, right? You gotta hold it in place. So I like to put bumpers at the very bottom of my playset, because then if I put a bumper at the bottom, it doesn't want to move down. It doesn't go anywhere. So a bumper is just simply like something that is red that goes at the very bottom of it, and it prevents it from moving anymore. So if I take this away and I keep my bumper there, I might want to do another bumper since it's so thick of a slide. There we go. So now, see those two bumpers I've added here, because that slide is going to go against that. It's going to go right here. And there's your slide. That's all there is to it. That's it. It's pretty easy, pretty basic. Now, if you don't have those pieces, remember, I added a slide with this. Just 3 boards connected. And the same thing happens. I add it here, but it's rather long, so I just take one off. See? Now it's 2. Same concept. Same thing. It fits nicely. It doesn't go anywhere. You can still send little Charlie down the slide. Woohoo! Yay! Charlie's going. Woohoo! Charlie just had a great ride. See? Charlie's having a good time. Now remember, these are your flat slides. That flat slide is a lot of fun. However, remember, you have options. You don't have to stick with the flat slide. Matter of fact, I made that slide. That slide's a bumpy slide. Little Charlie has a good time on this one too. He just goes rather quickly down this one because it goes dun 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 dun. So this is held together by, I'm going to take this apart. You've got because it's so bumpy, I end up adding the fence pieces on each side. Because you add this, he's not going to go down so crazy. He's going to catch something. Now, I always like to add these little pieces for your bumps, right? These are the bumps. Now, if you add it together, it becomes a full bump. See that? If you add these pieces together, just like this, it's the 4x2s. You can add that to add a bumpy slide, right? And you add your single ones, your flat ones, every other. So it goes flat bump, flat bump, flat bump. And I just kind of add it side by side. So the bumps, I only added 2 bumps. So I added flat, right there, flat, bump, flat, bump, flat. And I left space on both sides. I left space so that the handles could go on there, or the fence pieces that are your handles. And I don't have too many that look exactly alike, so I just kind of eyeball ones that I think will look nice. So I added these 2 here, and then I added smaller ones there. It definitely keeps them in place. It doesn't let them shoot overboard, which is what I'm trying to prevent. So there is that slide. That's your bumpy slide. And again, same concept. I want to do the same thing that I added before. I want to add a little bump there, Now, here's the problem. It's really, really long. So the only thing I can do, because it's so long, do you see the difference there? It's so long, is I add that bumper just further away. So if I take that, I don't want to take it up because my nails will hurt. If I add the bumper kind of further away, let's give that a try. That's even much nicer. So let's do another bumper that's kind of, I will be taking this, the first one away. I just, for this purpose here, I just want to show it to you like this. All right, so now we have a bumpy slide, right? Let's see if little Charlie wants to get down now. There he goes. Bumpity bump, bump, bump. Charlie's having a good time. Goodbye. All right, so he just had a really nice slide. So now we have a bumpy slide that we added. Then we had a straight slide that we added, right? And these are great. That is a very simple slide right there. If you do not have all this humble jumble stuff and you have steps and you have a slide, you could just make one and be done. And there you go. That's made possible in 20 seconds. Just add the slide, you add blocks, and you add your steps. And then good old Charlie can go down. It's really quite easy. Now let's say you don't have any of these things and you're just like, I really want to slide, but I don't have much. I have this piece. This is one that is just simply a plank. It is just a smooth plank. Nothing much to it. Nothing much to it. You could use it like this and go down long ways. You can have a lot of friends going down together. You can use it going up and down like that. Now, let's say we have Miss Sarah who wants to go down the slide. There she goes. See how nice that is? Sarah's going, woo, great. And what if Sarah wants to go like this? Go long ways. We can do that too. Whoosh, just like that. All right. So that is how you make the slides. I hope that this was easy for you. I hope that you were able to figure out how you're making your slide, where you're putting the slide, if you're putting it at the top, plank or the bottom plank or the base, wherever you want to add your slide. Now remember, you have a ton more stuff and a ton of space. You don't even have to have the slide coming off of this. You can add the slide in the east area of your playground, the west area, the north, the south, wherever you want your slide to go. I mean, you can even do it later. But the idea is that you want to try to use the pieces that you have and not think that you need to use the pieces that I have. Because not everybody's going to have the same setup and not everybody's going to have the same stuff. Even if you wanted to take something like this, this could very well be the slide. And all you would have to add are your straight pieces like this, one after the next, and do a rainbow slide and make it super colorful. I mean, I've had my own kids make slides that look crazy with a lot of different colors added, right? I mean, here we go. Now it's looking like a really nice slide, but not with these little spikes. But my example is pretty basic, because now you have a slide with just a bunch of really pretty colors. You have a black one in there, you can have a white one, you can have an orange. Whatever you have, you use for a slide. A slide is a plank. It's nothing more than this. That is a slide. And I can't wait to see what you guys do. This is going to be so much fun. And I'm trying to think, could I even tip that upside down? I don't think I can. But anyways, enjoy your building. And I think that this will be a fun one for you and your family. And use what you have. I'm going to add probably this slide. This is my favorite one. I'm going to add this one to my yellow platform. But I think I'm going to have to add add red to here. There we go. That's my slide. And I'm going to add it right off of my yellow. Right off of my yellow. Right like that. But I think I'm going to add this piece to go against my slide to make it not move left and right. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that one like that so it doesn't move left and right. And then I'm going to add a red one to the other side so it doesn't go left and right. And this is a work in progress. Like I said, you're never going to end up doing the same thing that I'm doing because you may not have the piece. But if you don't have these pieces, use that piece to put it into place. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But that's the easiest way I could think about holding stuff in place. Now you could do something like this, where you put that on the very bottom of the slide, right? And you put this at the very bottom of your base, and you kind of lock it in place like this, right? It allows your slide to stay locked in its spot. That's another really good option you have. I've done that several times, and I love that too. But doing it with these makes a fence around your space. So now mine looks like this. So this is my slide. It no longer moves left and right because I've added that piece to reinforce it, and I've added this piece to reinforce it. Now ideally, I want to be like, all right, let's make it look really pretty. I like white. I've got lots of white. Let me add a white one there. That looks nice. Let me add another white one here. That looks nice. I mean, if I have a black one, I can add a black one. It really is up to you, but for video purposes, I like to add different colors because then you can really see what I'm doing. Unlike adding yellow to yellow and you really can't see what starts and what ends. So there you are. Now I have that bumper down here. Yep, that makes it not go up and down. And this makes it so it doesn't go left and right. So now you have a slide on your base. I've got a ladder going up to my second story here. And it's all locked in place because we have the 4 areas that help right there. And the same thing with these things here, the towers. So there's your slides. I might make another slide later going off the taller one, but for right now, I just want to stick with this one right here. I think this looks really nice. Now, if I wanted to, over here, I could add, I think I am going to add it. I will show you what I'm going to add. Because I like my stuff to be really secure. Because when we play hard on these. I'm going to add this one and this one. These two, I'm going to add right next to this piece. Because if I do that, and I put it on top of the structure here, it makes it really nice to now add to this and lock it into place. I'll show you what I mean. See how I added those 2 white pieces? I did that because now I can add, I put it here, I can add something on top of the gray to the white to keep it in place. And it could be anything that looks like this. That's a bad one. That could be a bad one. I mean, it could even just be this here, like that. And let's just do something else. It doesn't really matter what it is. The idea is that I'm locking it in place so this structure becomes really super strong and doesn't leave this bottom section. It kind of locks into place. And that is so far what I have. I really hope you guys explored some. All right, so I hope you guys explored some. I hope this was fun. And I hope you guys had a lot of cool pieces that I didn't have that you started. And I will see you with the next build. The next build is going to be monkey bars. The next one's going to be monkey bars.